guess I just wanted to kind of close and ask you a little bit more about this evolution gap. I mean, it's a big question, but I mean, we're looking forward now to all these crazy things we've created. Not only the internet, not only our mobile devices, now we've got artificial intelligence, artificial food, all of these things, besides the diabetes too, and some of the things you're working on. What do you see for us as a species going forward? That are we going to be able to handle this transition? And it seems like the stakes get upped every single year. And since you spent a long time studying this, I'm just kind of curious what you see as an outlook.
Well, there's that song, "There May Be Trouble Ahead." Like, I think we're headed for trouble, but we're also headed for the greatest opportunity. And it's always like that. Many times when people think about ancestral lifestyles, or they look at a book like mine, or there are other books in the field that suggest similar things, they think that we're suggesting that you should sell all your crap and move to the forest. And that's not at all what we're saying. At least it's not what I'm saying. What I'm suggesting is that we have to recognize that our bodies were built to a particular design specification. We were designed to survive the African savanna. And to the degree that we are lifted out of that savanna and put into another alien environment, we have to make modifications. And we can. And there's some interesting examples of this, that if you walk into a little Thai restaurant or a spa and you hear birds chirping, what you won't necessarily consciously recognize is that the reason those birds chirping are there is because they're calming. Well, why are they calming? Well, I would put to you that one of the reasons that they're calming is that if you are in the veldt, if you're in the African bush and the birds are chirping, it's because there are no predators near you. And then if the birds suddenly go silent, it means there's predators. So the sounds of birds calm your DNA. Now, you don't have to know this, but your DNA does. Another example, we all saw this, all the biohackers reported on this a couple of months ago when it came out. Some research paper was saying that if you spent 15 or 20 minutes a day by an open body of water, that you had measurable reduction in cortisol. Yes, of course you did, because water represents all kinds of interesting things for our ancestral life. Like, for example, if you are on the water, you are safe from 180 degrees. There's 180 degrees of no tribes and no wild animals coming after you for the vast majority of history. So that's one issue. The other issue is that it's water, which means it's abundance. Even if it's salt water, it's abundance, because salt water produces food, right? If you go to this is a really cool thing. My mom and I, and my girlfriend at the time, we were in South Africa. I was born in South Africa, and we were at a beach, and we were leaving, and I suddenly felt this compulsion to run up this trail. And we're walking to the car. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I can't not do it. I don't know why. I don't understand it. To this day, I just had to. I was like, it was not logical. My legs were running up, and I'm going, but they're going to the car. I can make it. And I ran up the hill. I got to the top of the hill, and there's a cave up there. And it wasn't even a very special cave. It was not a very deep cave, but it was a cave. And there was a plaque on the wall, and the plaque talked about the people that lived in these caves, and they've been living in these caves for some 200,000 years. I found that fascinating. And then it said these caves were originally excavated by T.F. Dreyer. And I was like, I don't know, T.F. Dreyer. That night we're having dinner with my grandmother, and her name was Erica Edmeades. My grandfather was Eric Edmeades, and my grandmother was Erica Edmeades, weirdly.
That's wild.
And I said to her, I remember that her maiden name was Dreyer. So I said, do you know this T.F. Dreyer? And she said, well, yeah, it was her father. It was my great-grandfather, and it turned out to be the same T.F. Dreyer that discovered the Florisbad skull, which is the oldest Homo sapiens skull, or now the second oldest Homo sapiens skull in history. And then I started exploring all of those caves that he excavated, and they're fascinating. Humans lived in those caves for some 200,000 years with water at one side of them because it was abundant and it was safe. And so today, why is beachfront property the most valuable property in the world? Because our instincts like it. So if we can learn those types of things from our ancestral past, and we can combine them with the incredible advancements that are coming, we can create unbelievable lives. But if we think that we can blindly move off into the world of advancement and not suffer the consequences, well, then we would then not answer an important question. And that is, how is it possible that we live in the safest, best, most comfortable times? Everybody's going to bed in a bed. They got hot and cold running water. They've got food around them. This is new. We live in the safest times in the history of ever, and yet we have more addiction. We have more Netflixing. We have more psychiatry, and we have more suicide than ever before. So yes, there may be trouble ahead, but if we do it with consciousness, we can have the most incredible future ever.
Yeah, but it has to happen. I think Tucker was making this point the other day. He's like, if you look at the metrics, we're living in one of the worst times. Again, the suicide, the drug addictions, all these things. Right. But if you look at, Steven Pinker's work, it's the safest of times. And so it's a very scary duality here. And you think reminding ourselves of those ancestral pieces is an important way to advance?
I'll give you a very tangible idea of why life is difficult. My dad and I are walking through the bushveld one day, and we walk down with guides, and we walk down an embankment into a dry riverbed. And there are 14 lions sitting in the bush. We're not in a car. So I can tell you that at that point, what happens is you take one sharp breath, and then you breathe very calmly and quietly because you don't want to be heard. And you start producing cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. And what those chemicals do is they make you faster. They make your blood pump. They make your blood a little sticky because you start producing apparently coagulants in case you get injured. And your intelligence becomes refined. You start losing complex logic, and you start becoming very, very focused on just this reality. So you become kind of dumb. You become very smart about this, but very dumb about everything else. And your empathy starts to fade away. And as a bit of a joke about that, my dad said to me, he goes, "Eric, are you scared?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And he said, "Why not?" And I said, "Because I can outrun you." And he did not find that funny at all. He did not find that funny. Later, he was able to laugh about it. But if you think about all that chemical reaction, now you take a 25-year-old kid driving down the 405 in LA, and the red and blues pop off in his rearview mirror. And he starts producing cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. Those things are making him faster and stronger and dumber and lack of empathy. And now he has to talk to a policeman. So we have the wrong neurotransmitters. We have the wrong instincts for the world that we're in. And if we don't bring consciousness to that conversation, we're going to suffer. And that's why those metrics are off the chart: addiction, suicide, and alcoholism, and the like.
Well, I'm so glad we're talking about this. And it's going to need a lot more talking about over the next couple decades. Book is Post-Diabetic. How can people get it, learn more about it, and then find you, for programs and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. Postdiabetes.com.
Okay.
Is the core site. You can find the book and programs, that kind of stuff. Of course, the book's on Amazon, hardcover, softcover, Audible, the whole deal, bookstores and so forth. If they want to find me, I'm at www.eric.ee, and I manage my own Instagram page, and I do my best to answer everybody who writes.
What's your Instagram?
At Eric Edmeades.
Okay, gotcha. Fantastic. What's next for you?
Well, a couple more days here in London. We were going to leave on tomorrow, but we decided we're just having too much fun. So we're going to stick around until Monday, then back home to the Caribbean for a little while.
Okay. And then more projects coming.
Yeah.
And coming
Yeah.
soon.
I mean, one of the big things I'm excited about is doing, we're sort of in pre-production on a documentary on diabetes reversal. And I'm really excited about it. It's a big issue. It's huge.
It's a huge issue. And I'll just close by saying I've got certain members of the family that I'm going to send this to right afterwards, because I think they're stuck, and they don't realize there are solutions, and they've been told that there aren't as a solution and just take this. And it's just hard to watch, someone who could step out of that cage because it's unlocked, but they don't realize it is. And this is a huge, huge, huge issue. And it's going to be here in the UK in a big way in another 4 or 5 years. We don't see it as much as, say, when you go to America, and then it's going to migrate all around the world. And I appreciate you bringing attention to it.
It's costing the NHS £1.5 million an hour already.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy.
Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.